Hello and welcome to Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnicky, and
Okay, look, that wasn't bad, but Jess, I think he does it every week, and it's normally pretty good. Could you have a go at it this time, please?
Hello and welcome to Do Go On.
No,
I like that a lot.
The go was so off.
Okay.
Have another go. See how I did it just then? Do that.
Hello and welcome to Do Go On.
The go was perfect, but everything else was wrong.
It's
Matt,
hard, Matt.
I want to hear your voice.
I like both. Okay. Line.
Hello and welcome to Do Go On.
Hello and welcome to Do Go On.
Oh,
Happy with that?
I hear,
Happy
no,
with
but
that?
I hear on the go. I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's difficult.
Oof.
Difficult. Remember when we said that this one we wouldn't talk much at the top because the report has quite a...
We did not get far at all.
I didn't even get into hello and you cut me off.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Do
Everyone.
Go On.
It's Dave, Jess and Matt here.
I'm drinking a lovely Melbourne coffee.
Yeah, we just went and got coffees and it's like... Firing it all, firing, what's the word?
Filing on all cylinders.
Thank you.
What do you guys like doing when you're in Melbourne?
Oh, get a bloody coffee. Hello, Broden Kelly over there. How you doing? I wrote it.
Oh, you guys are never
It's
getting
pretty
coffee again.
Nah, it's the elixir of life.
We went to, Broden Kelly from Arnie Donna, who we had on as a guest a few weeks ago, recommended this cafe around the corner called Kynes. And we both had a Kynes coffee, and I reckon they bloody put something in there, like a bit of caffeine or something.
I'm happy with Kynes coffee.
I'm
It's great.
buzzing.
It's great. We're having a good day.
I'm buzzing like a bee.
Hanging out with my two favourite lads.
I never touch the devil's drop.
Okay, mate.
Never touch it.
But he loves
Never.
cocaine.
Yeah, well, the devil's powder's fine. But I just hate drops.
No, fair enough. Hey, mate, fair enough.
Thank you.
I love you for you.
Thank you.
Cocaine habit and all.
Hey.
Nazi sympathiser and
No,
all.
no.
He's
See,
fine with me saying he does
I know it is
drugs.
weird that...
You draw weird lines, Dave.
I'll draw it. That's often due to
Yeah.
the cocaine, let's
Yeah.
be fair.
He also snorts weird
Snorts
lines.
weird lines.
In the shape of swastikas.
Oh, dear. It's happened. Last week, I don't know if you noticed, there was 0 mentions, and I
There
was sitting there
was.
going, yes, yes, perhaps they've forgotten.
It's because I think we got it all out of our system before we hit record. Like, we really went at you in the
Yeah, I was
time we were hanging out before that.
I was physically bullied.
And in
Physically.
well, I mean,
Mentally.
emotionally.
Come on, mate.
But also...
What about that time when you pinned me down and punched me in the stomach?
Oh, well, that was just a bit of roughhousing.
Bit of rough
but-
and
but
tumble.
Yeah,
fun.
emotionally that did hurt.
Boys will be boys.
Oh, boy.
I thought it was just because it was about the Wiggles, and there's no real in to Nazis with Wiggles.
Yeah, true. Because they're delightful, unlike Dave.
I mean, it does seem like Anthony Wiggle is a bit of a Nazi, but
Oh, boy.
No comment from me. Okay,
Interesting.
so we are under some time constraints this week. We will not lie to the listeners. We need to fire out this report, so I'm just going to ask you, Jess.
Yep.
Does this week's report have any ins to Nazi calling for me?
It does not, so I think you're safe. But
Thank
don't worry,
goodness.
Matt and I will always find a way.
We'll find a way.
We'll find a way.
Now that you've brought it to our attention.
Oh, no. Anyway, so this is the show where we do a report on a topic. Jess, it is your turn, and we start with a question.
We do start with a question. I'm a little bit excited. As per usual for the last few reports that I've done, I have forgotten to write a question, but I have one. The question this week is, who is the biggest ladies' man in history?
Adolf
Dave
Hitler.
Warnicky.
I mean, oh no.
Oh, no, well, one and the same.
We
Kind of a
did-
similar
we
answer.
basically- Yeah, jinx.
Man, I was like, I'll own this so good. I'll say Adolf Hitler no matter what the question is. Like, what was the worst event of the 1950s? I'm like, he's already gone. I'll still say Hitler. Oh, no.
Well, he wasn't that bad, though, was he, Dave?
Your words, mate.
Your
Your words.
Would you ever start a podcast at episode 52? I hope no one else has.
Okay, for context, if this is the first one that you're listening to, hi, by the way.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Many, many, many months ago, Dave was doing a report where he said, we implied like before Hitler was known to be terrible, but the way he said it was before Hitler, or Hitler wasn't that bad yet, and then we've just been piling on him
That
for
was
months.
so eloquently explained. Thank you. And it sounds less...
You've never been able to put it into words.
No, I've never... It just sounds like I'm just in denial when I do it. So thank you, Jess.
You're welcome.
So what was the question? I just heard Hitler
Ladies
and Dave.
man. Who's
All
the ladies
time.
man? All time.
Tom Jones.
No.
It's not
His
on
name
you.
is quite literally now synonymous with being a
Oh,
ladies'
Don Juan.
No, close.
Lothario.
No.
It's something like that.
JFK?
No. What?
What do you mean? He's so with lots of women. He.
but
Oh,
his
yeah,
name's
but
not so-
his name is
it's-
quite literally
it's where you go,
synonymous.
oh, it's a bit of a-
Casanova.
Casanova is your topic?
Casanova is my topic.
Is Lothario anything?
Yes.
Is
Is that a person? Lothario is just
But I think it's a thing. But it could also be a character from The Sims. I think there was a
Okay.
guy called like Don Lothario.
no, Lothario
Who was a real ladies'
man.
man.
Yep.
Oh man, he was really fun because then you'd like already have had all these relationships with the ladies and you could just like bang people.
Lothario is just an adjective, isn't it?
Yes.
Good.
Good. So
Not relevant at all.
So
Not relevant.
Casanova.
Casanova. This was suggested. I did take this out of the hat. This was suggested by listener and friend Lewis Dow.
Oh, Lewis Dow.
Yeah, Lewis has suggested this one for us. Lewis is a comedian friend of ours, and
we will not discriminate against him because of that choice.
well, he's from South Australia. So,
we will discriminate him because of that choice, though.
yeah,
Ah. What a choice.
What a choice.
yeah. So,
Hey, everyone's got a choice.
but okay. Well, he chose to move to Melbourne, though.
Yeah, if anything, his only choice.
His only choice was to leave Adelaide, which is probably smart.
Well,
Anyway, look,
stupid is as stupid does.
we can
No, that
Ooh,
is a good
got
point. That is a
him!
good point.
sucked in Dal.
Thank you.
Yeah. So.
No, I like him a lot.
Me too. So, yeah. So I'm going to be talking about Casanova because I didn't know a lot about him. Didn't know a lot.
Is he a fictional,
No, he's a real person.
but like a mythical type?
well,
Not like a like a phoenix,
yeah, he's a phoenix.
but like a legend, or is he?
Yeah, kind of.
definitely real.
No, he
Oh,
is
mate,
real.
he is a real legend.
Oh, he's a bloody
what
legend.
a legend with the ladies.
He is real. I think there's
that's-
probably lots of other characters have been based on him. He's but he's had the most fascinating life, and I didn't really know anything. And then Lewis was sort of like, was just talking to him. And he's like, check this out, and I was like, oh my god, okay. So it's really interesting. So I'll tell you the story.
Thank you. I'm excited.
So like basically, just as like an overall summary though, his autobiography, which was called Story of My Life,
sounds like he definitely exists then. If he's written this
an autobiography. It's regarded as one of the most authentic sources of the customs and norms of European social life during the 18th century. Because he wrote his memoirs and like it was such a reflection on society at the time.
Oh,
Regarded as one of the most authentic. Pretty interesting.
so definitely these words mean exist.
Yeah, he existed. He's not fictional.
He authentically existed.
He authentically existed. His name was Giacomo Girolamo Casanova.
Wow.
I can say that because I studied Italian.
So, but can you
Sounds
say it? Can you say it in a
Italian.
way that I could parrot?
Giacomo Girolamo Casanova.
Giacomo.
You're starting to nail this English.
Thank
Giacomo.
you. We'll just call him Casanova. Giacomo.
Giacomo.
So is he Italian?
Born in Venice in 1725. So yes.
Beautiful.
To actress Zanetta Farusi, who was the wife and she was the wife of actor and dancer Gaetano Casanova. And he was the first of 6 children. They all had good names. I was going to say them all, but they're all and I didn't copy them, but they're all good names.
Good to know.
At the time of his birth, the city of Venice thrived as the pleasure capital of Europe.
Oh, where would you say the pleasure capital is now?
Of Europe?
I was just gonna say-
Amsterdam.
Ibiza?
I was going to say my.
Probably, yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably
good
Amsterdam,
one.
maybe.
I was going to say my house. Yeah.
You're not
You
in
got a
Europe,
house in
Jem.
Europe.
You're gonna
Well,
Oh, you probably his Nazi base
there's-
would be over there.
there's just many flaws in my.
There are many
all
flaws
of those,
for sure.
all of,
Yeah, well,
all of-
it's a big house.
all of that money we gave him for the podcast, I think he spent it on a house.
Oh,
Because I've not seen any return of you.
Hang on, why are you guys paying me for the podcast?
No, but remember we all
It's a weird
gave
system.
we all gave Dave money, and he was gonna.
He was going to
He
zhuzh
had
it up.
he
Yeah.
He was going to do some stuff in post.
was gonna
I
shush.
was going to
Yeah.
use what some.
He was gonna do some podcast zhuzhing.
Yeah, I was going to make it 3D.
Oh my god, we're so hyper.
I was going to whip out the green screen and make us all look better.
Dave, you
Oh,
sure
good
don't want
luck,
a bit
mate.
of coffee? I'll have a little sip of my coffee.
Oh, mine's gone. I smashed
Oh,
mine.
mine's gone too.
Anyway, so Venice,
Devil.
pleasure capital of Europe. Everybody knows. apparently it was ruled by political and religious conservatives who tolerated social vices and encouraged tourism. So people were coming and
Well, I was
going.
about to say, there's nothing that it says pleasure to me than being ruled by the
Conservatives.
conservative religious types.
All right. It was a required stop on the Grand Tour, which was like a rite of passage that young men travelled, especially Englishmen. So the custom was it was big around 1660, and then it continued all the way up until about 1840s, and when they the advent of large scale rail transport made it a bit easier to move around. But before that, it was like a rite of passage. As you were coming of age, you'd do this big. You take like a gap year and
But to say, it would take you
travel.
a long time just to get there from England.
Yeah, but they would just sort of travel around. So anyway,
Sounds a lot of fun.
Venice is a party capital. He was cared for by his grandmother while his mother toured about Europe in the theatre because she was an actress. His father died when he was 8 years old. This is interesting, and you might appreciate this, Dave. As a child, Casanova suffered nosebleeds,
Oh,
as you have on this podcast.
as the best people do,
Okay, mate. And his grandmother sought help from a witch.
as my mother did before me.
Yeah. Perhaps as a remedy for the nosebleeds, apparently a doctor blamed the density of Venice's air, right? So they're like, Venice is no good for nosebleeds. So he was sent on his 9th birthday to a boarding house on the mainland in Padua. Now, this neglect by his parents was like a bitter memory for him. It's great because I've got like little chunks of what he's written. And so he was like, they just got rid of me. His parents were just like, bye.
Into
Sounds
the
like-
bin.
In the bin.
It sounds like they were getting rid of him because they wanted him to get better,
Yeah,
not
but
because they neglected him.
Yeah, but he's a kid. Anyway, apparently the conditions at the boarding house were terrible.
Oh.
So he appealed.
1700s boarding school.
Yeah,
You can
who-
imagine that it would be.
Who knew?
But has the nosebleed stopped?
I think so. Well,
So-
it at least subsided a little bit.
Okay.
Praise the witch.
Okay. Praise be the witch.
Eventually, the blood goes to a different part of his body.
Where, Matt?
Cut himself in the shower.
His doodle.
Oh, yuck, Matt.
He's a Casanova.
Yucky.
He's a real Casanova, this guy.
Stop it.
He's a real bloody Lothario.
Oh, hello. He's a bit of
Text in if you know what that means.
a... Text in. Give him your number, Matt. No, don't, though. You've done that on TV before, though.
I'm not at all careful with my number. It's on the public record, I'm pretty sure.
Anyway. So yeah, conditions were really bad at the boarding house. So he appealed to be placed under the care of Abbey Gozzi. Abbeys are like
I've
clergymen.
heard more good names on this podcast than I've heard in the rest of my life.
In
There's
a
some great
lifetime.
names.
Gozzi.
Now
Hey,
he was
Gozzi.
So who's Abby Guzzi though?
he was his primary
Happy Gozzi.
instructor, like his teacher.
Oh, he's already seduced his teacher.
No, he just wanted to be. No,
Yeah, but out of all the students, she's chosen him to live with.
he
Has chosen her. Oh, that's how much power he wields.
he has chosen him. It's a dude.
Abby is a man.
It's Abbey is a clergyman, like an abbot, it's just a title,
Oh,
like Father Gozzi. This
Oh,
is
he's
Abbey
already-
Gozzi.
he's already seduced his Abby.
Okay, there's no seduction. Well, there kind of is, but not with the Abbey.
Okay, sorry.
He was his tutor, so he goes and lives with the priest. He's like a clergyman,
Right.
and his family, and he lived there most of his teenage years. And it was also in the Gozzi household that Casanova first came into contact with the opposite sex,
Gozzi.
with Gozzi's younger sister, Bettina. I mean, when they say first came into contact with the opposite sex, like he had a mother and sisters. So, but I think they mean in a different kind of
Yeah,
context.
like a single lady.
Nah, mean.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, I like a her.
Ooh.
Oh, I think we know what you mean.
What do I mean?
So I zoned out. When you said Bettina, I couldn't help but think that's
Bettina.
got to be one of the less good names out there.
Not happy with that one.
Beti-
There's some more good ones.
Bettina.
What about just Tina's okay?
Tina's
Tina's
alright.
okay. Betty,
Betty.
maybe.
Do you want to call her Betty?
Bettina. Oh,
Which do you wanna
that is
call
a
her?
horrible amalgamation.
Do you want to call her Betty or Tina for the rest of the podcast?
Betty.
Betty it is.
So,
Okay.
Is Betty a lot older than him? If she's the younger sister of the Abbey?
I have a feeling she's about 11. I feel like she might have been older than him.
Gozzi.
I'm not 100% sure. They might have been similar ages, but there was a bit of a difference, I
Hey,
think.
Jess, say it like this. It's really fun. Gozzi.
Gozzi.
How fun is that?
That is fun.
That is good fun.
God, we have fun.
Try it at home.
Anyway, so he he is attracted to Betty. He described her as pretty, light-hearted, and a great reader of romances.
She's pretty lighthearted.
Pretty, light-hearted.
Oh, well, that's a different thing altogether.
The girl pleased me at once, though I had no idea why. It is she who little by little kindled in my heart the first sparks of a feeling which later became my ruling passion.
Which later became my boner.
No, ruling passion is nicer.
Ruling passion.
But he means boner.
Yeah, great.
Although she subsequently married, Casanova maintained a lifelong attachment to Betty and the Gozzi family.
His lifelong attachment was his boner.
It was attached to him for his entire life, yes. That's how doodles work.
Oh, spoiler.
That's how doodles work. Wait, which bit? The fact that I said the word attached to him, or that's how doodles work?
A little bit of column A and column B.
The bit was his boner.
The column was his boner.
Oh, man.
Oh, so many.
So many.
So many boners. Early on, Casanova demonstrated a quick wit, an intense appetite for knowledge, and an inquisitive mind. He entered the University of Padua at 12 and graduated at 17
What a guy.
in 1742 with a degree in law. It was his guardian's hope that, as in like Gozzi, they sort of hoped that he'd become an ecclesiastical lawyer. Casanova had also studied moral philosophy, chemistry, and mathematics, and was keenly interested in medicine. In fact, he frequently prescribed his own treatments for himself and his friends.
Wow, a self-diagnosing doctor.
Well, we all love a bit of Googling our symptoms and deciding everything's cancer, so that's good.
I think he's deciding everything can be cured with a little Viagra.
Boner. While attending the university, Casanova began to gamble and quickly got into debt, causing his grandmother to tell him to come back to Venice. She's like, come back here. But the gambling habit became firmly established. So he likes a bit of a bet.
That's disappointing.
Card games, that sort of thing.
He was such a nice man until
Back in Venice, Casanova started his clerical law career and was admitted as an abbey. So he's also like a
Which
clergyman.
is like a building, right, where the monks live.
No, that's
Which is-
EY. This is just ABBE.
Okay.
So he's an abbey, he's a lawyer, he's a
He's
self-prescribing
everything.
doctor,
He's everything.
he's a Casanova.
He's a Casanova.
He's the original Casanova.
Right. That makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Because it's his name. Imagine if your name went on to like mean something.
He's a right old Dave.
Oh, I was going to go Perkins. It's interesting. Okay, you went Dave.
Yeah. Well, I think about me a lot.
But I actually refer to myself as Perkins a lot, so maybe that's why I went straight to Perkins. But like, to be a Perkins or to be a Jess, what would that mean?
It just means a turn on a dime.
Yeah,
Turn on a dime.
Suddenly.
Just
love to hate.
It's a twist.
You're like,
Yeah.
you're Two-Face. You're flipping the coin in the
Yeah.
air, catching it. What's it going to be?
Yeah.
All right, I hate this guy.
Yeah, cool.
Hey, what did I do? Dunno, mate.
Dunno.
But fuck off.
Ah, I'm okay with that. That's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
You're a 50-50 Perkins.
I quite like that because then you never know what you're going to get.
That's right.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I'm
E-
excited.
Even you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel at any given moment. Feelings. I'm really hyped.
No, I'm trying to think of. I feel like there are others, but he's the big one, right? Is Romeo? Would that count? He's a real
Maybe.
Romeo.
No, I think Romeo. Well, I'm not 100% sure what other people would think, but I would sort of perceive Romeo as more of a romantic, like a true love kind of thing. Whereas I feel
Right.
like Casanova's a bit of like a
Pants man.
pants man, bit of a man whore,
Right.
fuck boy. He's
Fuck
a
boy.
fuck boy. Couldn't think of a word that I liked, and I landed on fuck boy, and I'm happy with that
I feel
decision.
like fuckboy means something else, but that's. Although I don't know.
No, I think that's what it means.
Okay.
Well, I thought
it was. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was negative, but maybe pants man is negative.
I think Casanova, to be a Casanova isn't necessarily. I think it's to be charming and
Right.
charismatic.
Which I don't
But
think is
you
what a
don't-
fuckboy is.
No, but you don't. But like he gets the ladies,
Right.
And I think a fuckboy gets the ladies, but you don't marry a fuckboy. You know,
Right.
you don't marry a Casanova.
Okay.
He sounds like a real Dave.
Yeah, no, Dave.
Oh, sorry.
Daves would be nice guys.
Ah, thanks.
You'd settle down with a Dave. Or you'd
settle for
you'd
a
settle
yeah,
for a
that's
Dave.
what it did sound like you were about to say. You'd settle for a Dave.
You'd get to 35 and
And you'd have a look around.
you'd go to the over 28s nights at your
Yeah.
local pub and just be like,
Maybe I will give Dave another try.
yeah, and then you'll marry Dave and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You won't be great, but you'll be fine.
Yeah, you won't, like, you'll have you'll probably have a laugh every now and then.
Yeah, there will be nights where you're lying in bed, awake, staring at the ceiling while Dave is snoring, just going, oh, man, if I waited a couple more years, maybe I would have found a mat. But you know, it's
well, I think
not,
that's a life
stop
lesson.
beating yourself up.
But I had to be a Perkins, and I just snapped.
Yeah.
This is you.
Yeah, I married
You
him.
end up with a Dave. I'm so sorry.
So you
Nicholas.
aim for a mat.
You aim for a mat.
You
but
aim for
you
a mat,
settle
but
for a
settle for a
Dave.
Dave.
You deserve so
Aw,
much more, Jess.
That's awful. I love you both equally, and you're both wonderful.
Thanks.
How is that? How could that be a bad thing?
He's so
How could that be bad?
suspicious
I
of you
know.
now.
Which is fair.
It's because he hasn't had a coffee. Mate, jump
No,
aboard.
you got to jump on. I feel alive.
I bet Lewis Dow would have had one, and he's from Adelaide.
He would have had about 3 coffees by now. This is just a fun fact. I shared a place with Lewis in Edinburgh, and we would get coffee every morning, and he would have like a triple shot just in the morning, and then he'd usually need another one later in the day anyway. Big coffee man, love it.
Yeah, you're all addicted. You bloody slaves to the bean.
Slaves to the bean.
And the coffee over there, I bet, was just as good, right?
It was fine.
Yeah. It's
No,
fun.
but then
like-
again, we did find a good cafe near our place that had Australians working there.
Oh,
So we
okay.
walked in and we were like, hello.
It
And
feels like that's got to be a myth that Australia does coffee. Why would
Nah.
Australia do coffee better?
I reckon coffee's coffee.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I
good or
think, too.
bad depending on how it's made, not where you've got it from.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah,
thing.
listen to this slave talk.
Yeah, slave
Slaves
talk.
to the bean.
Do slave.
to the bean.
That's hashtag
Just like-
slaves to the
Yeah.
bean.
Very similar to Casanova.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's gross and awesome. Okay, anyway, Casanova, we have time constraints, so I'm getting distracted talking about Lewis and coffee. He he is now an abbey, and he's working as a clerical lawyer.
Who? Lewis or Casanova?
Lewis is an abbey.
Sorry.
No, Casanova is an abbey. And he's sort of shuffling back between Venice and Padua because he's continuing his studies at university. By now, he's quite handsome. He's tall and dark. It says his long hair powdered, scented, and elaborately curled, which does not.
Elaborate curls.
But for like a modern woman, I'm like, okay, too much. But
Have a fucking haircut, mate.
yeah, just like I don't know.
Elaborately.
I mean, if you're gonna put a little bit of product through it.
Yeah, just maybe
Little bit of product.
get a pompadour. Like
Get a
everyone,
pompadour.
They're so great.
The sexiest hairdo of all. We've always all said that.
Oh yeah, they look so good.
Trying to build him back up after the whole Nazi thing, so just go along with it.
Okay, great.
I have a
Yeah, you look
pompadour.
great. You look great. The
Hey.
pompadour's sick,
Your
man.
your haircut is really good. It would suit a better looking person, but it's doing a pretty good job on top of your
Matt.
Would you,
funny little face.
would you, hey, would you settle for this hair?
I'd settle for that.
You'd aim for a mat.
I mean,
you'd settle for a
yeah,
pompadour.
eventually you're like, duh.
I did actually say when Matt got here today, I was like, Matt looks great. His hair looks good. What did I say to you though, Dave?
So my eyes were looking especially blue.
Oh, that's very nice.
Everybody was looking great today.
We're on, which was good because we had some photos taken.
Good job.
Look
which you
forward to those guys.
Look forward to that.
They're masterpieces. Anyway,
I haven't showered.
Oh, I was like inside your beard.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
really
it's all
sorry
up in
about-
there.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
okay, so Casanova, he's a bit of a good-looking guy. He finds himself a patron or like a mentor, something that he ends up doing for his entire life. He's always got somebody else who basically like pays for him. He sort of like pimps himself out, I suppose, in a way. Like he has this. He always hangs out with the wealthy people, and they usually end up letting him live with them, and they like give him money and stuff.
And what's he doing? Giving them advice?
Yeah, he's just kind of hanging out, man. He's just being Casanova. He's just a cool dude. So his first patron was 76-year-old Venetian senator Alvisi Gasparo Malipiero. I'm so sorry if I'm saying this wrong.
That sounded
probably
so good in my
This is
ears.
probably so offensive.
No, I reckon you nailed that.
Yeah.
It felt
Malipiero.
right.
It felt authentic.
Just like
Malipiero,
Mama used to make it.
he was the owner of a palace called Palazzo Malipiero.
Oh,
It's his own.
See?
Si, va bene. Which was quite close to Casanova's home in Venice. Now, Malipiero moved into the best. He moved in the best circles and taught young Casanova a great deal about good food and wine and how to behave in society. So he learnt a lot from this guy. He's like a mentor. However, when Casanova was caught dallying with Malipiero's intended object of seduction, who was an actress called Teresa Irma, the senator drove them both from his house. He's like, get out. So he had his eye on this girl, and Casanova's like, meow, 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 meow. He showed her his boner.
But the
other
other
elaborate
guy, the
curls.
rich guy's really old.
76.
Oh, you don't want that. You want Casanova. Come
Do
on.
you? Well, Casanova's growing curiosity about women.
Growing curiosity, is that what we're calling it?
We're calling it a growing curiosity about women led to his first complete sexual experience with 2 sisters.
Well, so before this, he was running away early.
Yeah.
You'd never get
His
there.
first complete one,
Mate.
threesome. He goes straight to a threesome
Oh.
with his sisters Nanetta and Maria, then 14 and 16. But
How old's he?
I'm not 100% sure.
Let's say 15.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
He's young. He's under 20. Yeah, he's under 20 at this age. So
Okay.
still not, I mean, not okay. It's not okay.
But
But we're
at
talking
maybe-
by today's standards.
Yeah, I was about to say, but this is not.
Like, let's think about it, he was at university at 12. Like, it was a different sort of standard now. You know? Oh, I'm justifying it. It's not okay. Anyway, so he proclaimed that his life hobby was firmly established. His hobby
Firmly.
being fucking.
Fucking sisters.
Just fucking in general.
His boner had been firmly established.
Loved it. So he's also, let's remember, he's also kind of, oh, Dave's lost it.
Matt is just really harping on about bonus.
That's great. He's really harping on.
I'm like a dog with a boner.
This is the exact kind of thing that at the end Matt whispers when we're off air. Do you reckon maybe you could cut out some of the boner references? I had a lot of coffee.
He always does that, and
Yeah.
we never cut it
He might
out.
send you a text being like,
Hey.
about that boner thing I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am going to regret this big time.
No, you're not. What were we talking about last time? We were talking about your big dick.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Anyway,
It's, a pattern is forming
Yeah, it
in
totally
my
is.
pants.
I have so much to get through.
You're a
Let's
pants
Yep.
man.
let's keep
But-
moving.
Oh, because his lifelong hobby's only just kicked off.
He's not even. He's like 20. Anyway, so let's remember as well that he was also like a member of the church.
A member.
It's funny how many words
Yeah,
can sound like
so many
boners.
We're obsessed as a people.
Yeah, we really are.
Or, yeah.
As a people or as a podcast. It's
Yeah.
hard to say. So scandals tainted Casanova's short church career, okay? After his grandmother died, Casanova entered a seminary for a short while, but soon his indebtedness landed him in prison for the first time. So,
So he entered in seminary.
No,
Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
I was
knew
trying to
it.
let that one go through. From now, let's try our best
Okay.
to let Jess get through.
A sentence.
So he went into an assembly, pardon me, but it
Yes.
only lasted a little while because...
He was so far in debt that he went to prison
Oh.
for all the money that he had lost. So he's a bad boy. Ooh, bad boy. His mother sort of attempted to secure him a position with a bishop, but Casanova was like, no, thank you. Instead, he found employment as a scribe with the powerful Cardinal Acquaviva in Rome.
Oh, that's a great name.
Acquaviva.
Water Viva.
Viva's like,
Celebration.
yeah, so it's like, go water.
Yeah!
Oh, that's kind of boring then. He's just named Cardinal Go Water. Or Yay Water? Yay Water!
And they live on the water.
Yeah, well, this is in Rome, so
Oh.
he's in Rome now. On meeting...
When in Rome.
This is so good. On meeting the Pope, Casanova boldly asked for a dispensation to read the forbidden books and from eating fish, which he claimed inflamed his eyes. I just like he's like, hello, Pope, couple of quick things.
No particular order.
Hey, can I read the naughty books and I don't want to eat fish? Is that okay? Pope, hello?
So great you get permission to not eat fish. Like, otherwise
Yeah.
the police come around and they're like, oh, I hear you have been eating your fish.
Yeah, did you get a dispensation to
yeah,
not eat
that's
fish?
weird.
It is a bit strange. He also composed love letters for another cardinal, but when Casanova became the scapegoat for a scandal involving a local pair of star-crossed lovers, Cardinal Acquaviva...
In Fair Verona?
Yeah, in Fair Verona, where this...
Cardinal Yaywater.
Cardinal Yaywater, Cardinal Acquaviva dismissed Casanova, thanking him for his sacrifice, but effectively ending his church career. He's like, you can go.
Thanks for everything.
Hey, thank you so much, but like we're fine. We're all right. We don't really. No, you go. It's cool.
Well, different times back then.
Yeah.
Now, anyone who wants to be in the church is like, please.
Oh my God, please.
You want to, really?
Really?
Okay.
Are you have you read the newspaper? Okay, no, sure, jump on in. Right, so he's left the church now. In search of a new profession, Casanova decided to become a military officer for the Republic of Venice. He joined a Venetian regiment in Corfu, and he found his advancement too slow and his duty boring, and he managed to lose most of his pay playing Faro, which is a French card game. So he soon abandoned his military career and returned to Venice. At the age of 21, he set out to become a professional gambler, but he'd already lost all of his money.
I'm going professional.
But I need money. So he turned to his old benefactor, Alvise Grimani, for a job.
So far, he's been a lawyer, a
Kind of a
religion
doctor.
guy,
Yeah.
a kind of doctor,
He's kind of a doctor, but not really.
He wrote prescriptions.
an army man, and now
Yeah.
a gambler, and he's
there's
21.
More. There's more. He keeps going.
Ridiculous.
So, okay, here we go then. So now he wants to be a gambler, right? But he needs money. So he begins his third career. We're not including doctor because he's not actually a doctor. His third career as a violinist in the San Samuel Theatre. This is so good. This is how he describes it. A menial journeyman of a sublime art in which, if he who excels is admired, the mediocrity is rightly despised. So he's like, if you're good, great. If you're not, ugh.
But has he been playing his whole life like everyone else in the orchestra?
He was taught, I believe, from like one of the... oh, no, he was taught in school, I think, yeah. When he was living with Gozzi. I believe that's when he learnt. He was learning violin.
Right,
So he can play violin.
Now he's gone professional.
Now he's gone profesh. My profession was not a noble one, but I did not care. I soon acquired all the habits of my degraded fellow musicians. Sorry, musicians out there. Look at these scum people, according to Casanova.
That's appropriate.
Violins.
Yeah.
So when we were talking last week about keyboard being the coolest instrument
No,
band.
I think that's not. I think that's the opposite of what we were talking about.
No, you guys definitely said it was the coolest.
No, keyboard is the...
So where would
least cool.
where would a violin sit if it was in a band?
Violin. Warren Ellis is playing it. It's right up there. Right up there.
I just can't get this right.
Yeah, no, did you not hear? They do kinds of all this kind of degrading stuff. The violin's probably the most rock and roll instrument in the whole entire symphony orchestra.
Fuck, I just can't get it right, can I?
No. Put down the bagpipes.
Jess, do you know who used to play the violin?
Who?
Casanova.
Fuck.
It's a pretty charming, cool,
Fuck.
sexual instrument. I guess.
I have
Also,
to have.
Andre Rieu.
Oh, he's a sexy fuck.
Yeah,
What a sexy man.
He's-
I hate him so much.
He's a sexual instrument.
I used to work at a bookshop that would play his CDs constantly, and I wanted to die.
Wow.
You wanted to
Is
die.
it no good?
No, it's fine, but like because it was like the bookshop had like an ABC shop within it, so we had like Triple J CDs. We had all this good stuff that you could play, and the elderly manager would always put on fucking Andre Rieu,
Because you know it would sell. Andre Rieu.
and it did.
Kids aren't buying CDs, but grandparents are.
No, that's a good
Is
point.
it? Yeah. So he's no, but he's a good.
Oh, he's a very talented musician. Yes,
I never
But if
fully
that's all
understood
you
why
hear-
is he.
The leader.
Why is he so big?
He just plays the classics. He doesn't write his own
Yeah,
music.
because
why
he's
does he become-
charming.
People love that
People
mullet.
they love the mullet.
He's got a great mullet.
He's very charming.
Charming Austrian,
You know who else is
I thought he was
charming?
Dutch.
Dutch. That's what I meant.
You know who else is charming? Casanova.
Oh, Casanova. I thought you were going back to Adolf Hitler, but yeah,
Well, he was.
that's more of something that Dave would say.
Yeah.
I forget.
He wasn't that bad though. So
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Casanova was not that bad.
Just as Dave started to get to you too.
yeah.
Please do go on.
Thank you. So he's hanging out with some other musicians, and he and some of his fellow musicians often spent our nights roaming through different quarters of the city, thinking up the most scandalous practical jokes and putting them into execution.
Ooh. Do they have examples?
We amused ourselves by untying the gondolas moored before private homes, and then they drifted with the current.
Gotcha.
You've lost your only transport.
Oh, you could have seen their face.
They also sent
Which we didn't because we left before sunrise.
They also sent midwives and physicians on false calls.
People probably died because of that.
Ah, so good.
Oh, we need a midwife really quickly. They're all out
They're
getting
all busy.
pranked. Sucked in, dickheads.
You got Casanova, bitch.
We set the water ambulances on fire. Yeah.
Yay. Yeah, so
that
like,
is all good stuff.
nah, they're just good fun.
Classic. And timeless as well. Like if we did that to our gondolas, people would still think it was funny.
Still funny.
Still funny.
Still funny in
Still
Melbourne.
funny.
Still funny.
God, that happened to me last week. Somebody set my
Oh,
gondola
some
off.
jokester.
And I was like, and I woke up and I was like,
Yeah, slow clapped it.
well done.
When it happened
Bravo,
to me,
sir.
like to be honest, my first instinct was, "Where's my gondola?"
Totally, right?
But then when it like the cogs ticked over, I'm
Yeah.
like, hang on a second. Who? Oh, very, very good. Very good. Oh, no. I mean, when you get got, you gotta give it up. Yes. Oh, so it was a really nice moment.
I think you have to have coffee before every podcast because you are so much more fun than normal when you're very boring.
Thank you.
So finally, guys, some good fortune came to the rescue.
What? How is he? He hasn't had any bad fortune apart from
No,
gambling
but he doesn't like
badly.
his job. He doesn't like being a musician. Well, poor me, right? So he's unhappy with his luck.
All right.
So what happened was he saved the life of a Venetian nobleman
Good move.
of the Bragadin family who had a stroke while riding with Casanova in a gondola after a wedding ball. What is their life?
I know.
Someone to think. Anyway, so they immediately stopped. They stopped and they to have the senator bled, like I'm guessing like bloodletting
Yeah.
to help him. So then they get him back to the senator's palace, and a physician bled the senator again and applied an ointment of mercury to the senator's chest. Now this was apparently an all-purpose remedy at the time, but toxic.
Toxic, yeah.
Just essentially just rub poison on his
It's
chest.
kind of like a Vicks vapor rub. You know, like it's just an all-purpose. Like it'll just help, but it's mercury.
What
and
do you
so
think's going to happen? What today is being applied to us that we're going to look back at in 300 years' time and go, oh, it was so weird how we used to take paracetamol or something.
Probably
I-
Vicks vapor rub.
I've been thinking that about like laser hair removal.
Right.
I've been thinking that about like if it turns out 20 years from now they're like, yeah, that wasn't a good idea. I'd be like, nah, yeah, I reckon probably not.
Yeah.
Putting a laser in your skin, probably
Hang
not
on.
a good idea.
Are you saying that I should regret my entire body laser hair removals?
No,
treatment?
because you
You
look
look good.
amazing.
Thank
You
you.
look so good.
Worth it.
If you die young, who gives a fuck? Because you look amazing.
No, I will be buried naked so people can see this.
Perfect. Dave,
I mean, you're going to be hideous when it kicks in, but
Dave, no regrets, babe. You look great.
you're going to leave some sort of bloody beautiful photos.
Beautiful
behind.
corpse photos. So beautiful.
Thank you.
So they've put mercury on him, right, which raised his temperature and induced a fever, and he appeared to be choking on his own swollen windpipe.
So
And
things.
the doctors are going, yep, this is all
This is
going
No,
good.
it's
to plan."
fine. This is
Yep.
normal. This is the mercury
God.
is working.
If only all the midwives weren't tied up with some sort
Yeah.
of thing
Oh,
going
they're
on.
so busy chasing their gondolas down the road. And a priest was called because they thought like he's going to die. He was looking really unwell. Casanova, however, took charge, and he, even though the attending physician was protesting, he ordered the removal of the ointment and the washing of the senator's chest with cool water. So like, get that fucking poisonous ointment off him. So they did that, and he was.
So it wasn't common knowledge, like.
Well, I don't know if he was like,
Just a real smart guy.
Well, obviously they wouldn't be using it if they knew it was toxic. I think
Yeah.
that's something we know now. But
Yeah, yeah.
Casanova was like, well, maybe let's get rid of that.
Right.
So he got it off. They washed it off him, and he made it full recovery. Like he was fine. They thought he was going to die, and then he turned out to be fine. But because of his youth and his medical knowledge, the senator and his friends thought that Casanova was wise beyond his years and concluded that he must be in possession of the occult knowledge. They're like, he's some kind of witch doctor. Who is this
Oh.
person? Right. So then the senator invites Casanova into his household, and he becomes like a lifelong patron of him. So now he's living in a fucking palace because he
So the
saved
occult
this
was
guy.
a positive thing.
Well, I guess so. Yeah.
How funny.
Well, just having that knowledge, I suppose, that more spiritual knowledge they thought was really cool. For the next 3 years, under the senator's patronage, working nominally as a legal assistant, Casanova led the life of a nobleman, dressing magnificently, and was natural to him, spending most of his time gambling and engaging in amorous pursuits. He be fucking.
Oh.
Amorous.
So he's picking up
Amorous
to
is a
ladies.
great word.
Amorous is pretty good. Now, his
Things were
patron,
getting a little
amorous.
You pause and say it slowly.
Amorous. His patron, so the senator that he had saved,
Mr. Mercury.
Mr. Mercury,
Freddie.
he was very he was very tolerant, but he did warn Casanova that someday he would pay the price. He's like, be careful of your behaviour. But Casanova
I'm sure everything will be fine.
Casanova said, I made a joke of his dire prophecies and went my way. Well, first mistake. Not your first, actually. Not your first at all.
Lol.
Lol,
Kept
good
walking.
one. How's that Mercury? Fuck off. However, not much later, Casanova was forced to leave Venice due to further scandals. This is so good. Casanova had dug up a freshly buried corpse in order to play a practical joke on an enemy
very
and
good.
exact revenge. But the victim went into paralysis, never to recover.
That he got him.
He broke him.
He got him.
Gotcha.
He bloody got him.
Gotcha.
Got him, you dickhead.
Matt tilled him real good.
Deleted him.
So he was just paralysed forever.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's not good. So he also, I shouldn't just tack this on at the end of that terrible prank, but he also fled Venice after he was accused of rape. So he flees to Parma, which is where the Parma is from.
Really? Pot
no,
and Palmer?
Probably not. Yeah, you get a Parma and a pot and Parma. Casanova then entered into a 3-month affair with a Frenchwoman he named Henriette. I didn't name her, but in his writings he referred to her as Henriette. I knew that was coming.
My name's Joan. I'll call you Henriette. Oh, okay.
No, but it's Joan.
It's Joan.
I cannot stress this enough. My name's Joan.
Was Joan.
Was Joan.
Please just call me my name, which is Joan.
Henriette. You look like a Henriette.
I'm not a Henriette, I'm a Joan.
I just don't feel
I'm
Joan.
normally really good with this.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're definitely a Henriette.
You're a
Yeah,
Henriette.
trust me, you're a Henriette. This was perhaps the deepest love he ever experienced. In his words,
Wow.
this is kind of strange and nice. See if you can interpret these words. In his words, he said, "They who believe that a woman is incapable of making a man equally happy all the 24 hours of the day have never known a Henriette." That's kind of nice, isn't it?
Very nice.
Really nice, but once again, my name is Joan.
Yeah, I really must.
I appreciate the sentiment there,
but it'd be nice if
Very
you named
nice.
me,
you
not
could-
some fantasy woman.
He just seemed to be so impressed that she was intelligent. I was like, wow, she's red. And she challenges me in conversation. It's like, oh, okay, you've met,
she's
met
like a real person.
Yeah, oh, you've met a person.
She
cool.
challenges me on what I call her every day.
Gosh,
Fucking Joan.
she's so challenging.
Oh, she's
The
she's
best
a real
ones
challenge.
are, though, aren't they? Oh, boy. But that sort of relationship didn't last, and he was crestfallen and sad, and he returned to Venice, and after a good gambling streak, he recovered
Yeah.
and set off on a
Always
grand
chase
tour.
horses.
Grand tour I was talking about before, like the
Oh, isn't that what people do at 18? And now how old's he now?
he's like in his 20s, but still, you can still do it. It's a
Okay.
rite of passage.
He's
Yeah.
a tool.
He has the right to passage. This guy over here, taking away people's rights all the time.
He's got the rights to Joan's passage.
Oh,
Oh no, too
Dave.
soon, Dave.
yuck.
Joan's been
No.
dead for several hundred years.
No,
She's
no.
also
We can only assume.
a person, and please don't refer to her bits as a passage.
Yeah,
Good heavens.
and I think we call her Henriette.
Yeah,
Sorry,
as
sorry.
is her name. Jeez Louise, this guy over here. Fucking hell.
What a piece of bloody shit.
What a piece of shit.
Sorry, Joan's passage.
Great hair on top of a
Yeah.
real piece of shit human.
So apparently,
It's the icing on the poo.
as he's on his grand tour, he's just bouncing from sexual escapade to sexual escapade.
Bouncing is such a vivid,
Wow.
You're
vivid
welcome.
descriptor.
And he reaches Paris in 1750. He stayed in Paris for 2 years. He learnt the language, spent much of his time at the theatre, introduced himself to notables. Notables.
Bonjour, no? Bonjour, I mean.
Bonjour. Bonjour.
That's all he did. Just said hello.
Hello.
To
Hello.
famous people.
Like
Hello.
Dave Warnocky in a French church.
Hello.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Oh, bon. Right. Soon, however, his numerous liaisons were noted by the Paris police, as they were in nearly every city he visited. Everywhere he went, they were like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Right? Because he was always just so gross. In 1752, he and his brother Francesco moved from Paris to Dresden, where his mother and sister Maria were living. He then visited Prague and Vienna before he finally returned to Venice in 1753. In Venice, Casanova resumed his escapades, picking up many enemies and gaining the greater attention of the Venetian inquisitors. His police record became a lengthening list of reported blasphemies, seductions, fights, and public controversy. So he's a bad boy.
Imagine someone's public record and it had all these seductions on it.
Yeah, he just keeps seducing everyone.
7 counts of seduction.
Stop it. Stop getting out there and seducing everyone. Stop it. A state spy, Giovanni Manucci, was employed to draw out Casanova's knowledge of Freemasonry and to examine his library for forbidden books. They're like, I reckon he's probably got some of the naughty books. Oh, no. They're not allowed to have them, they're forbidden.
Did he have to go undercover? Oh, can I borrow some sugar?
And
can I borrow a book?
yeah.
What do you know about Freemasonry?
Yeah.
Good day.
God, you'd be a great spy, Dave.
I'd be real good.
I nearly told you everything.
I was
just
about
then.
to drop my
Dax?
tax.
All right.
Dax. I don't know Dax in so long.
So good.
You got me.
The last time I said Dax is when I was trying to explain to an American what dacking meant.
Right.
Because I was like, what would you call it? They would call it pantsing. We call Dax is a slang term for your pants or trousers. So if you dack someone, it's pulling their pants down.
You're pulling their Dax down.
You're dacking them.
Dacking them. Got dacked.
You got dacked.
The first time I heard the word dacked was when one of my older cousins tried to use it in a game of Scrabble against my dad. My dad's
No, it's
Not a
Dack.
Not a word.
Dack.
How would you spell it? D-A-C-K?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Dack.
great.
And your dad was having none of it.
He had
None of that.
No, none of it.
That's
Nah, I can't. Dacked.
dacked. It's a word.
I'll show you what it means.
So yeah, there's people spying on him, trying to figure out what he knows. So a couple of people advised him to leave because there were some pretty stiff consequences.
No, not falling for it, Jess.
I am. That is some very good wordplay.
Now, the following day, he's now 30 years old. Following day, he's arrested and he's imprisoned under the Leads. Now, the Leads was a prison of 7 cells on the top floor of the east wing of the Doge Palace. I'm saying it wrong. I'm so sorry. Reserved for prisoners of higher status and political crimes and named for the lead plates. Maybe it's leads. That would make sense. Leads. Because it's named after the lead plates covering the palace roof. So it's probably the leads, not the leads.
Right.
But
Tricky
bloody
word,
these
tricky word.
things, hey, they look the same.
Those words are always tricky.
The leads. Anyway,
Hanging out with the leads.
just hanging out with the
It's
leads.
got a homonym.
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 Homonym?
Homonym.
Hummus? You saying hummus?
Homonym.
You saying Hummer? Vehicle? The vehicle Hummer?
Homonym.
What are you saying?
Homonym.
Harmony?
Homonym.
Harmonium. What?
Oh, homonym.
Homonym?
Homonym?
Eminem?
Homonym.
8 Mile. Great.
Mum spaghetti.
Right, so without a trial, Casanova was sentenced to 5 years in the unescapable prison.
Oh, please tell me he escapes the unescapable prison.
Oh, he escapes the unescapable prison.
Yeah, he does.
Well, I have to rename it.
Does he fuck his way out the front door?
Of course, he fucks his way out the front door. All right. No, he was placed in solitary confinement. He had clothing, a pallet bed, table, and armchair. Look, well, that seems pretty
Yeah,
cushy.
better than my place.
I don't have an armchair. I got a couch. Anyway, in the worst of all the cells, apparently, where he suffered greatly from the darkness, summer heat, and millions of fleas. He was soon housed with a series of cellmates, and after 5 months, he was a personal appeal from Count Bragadin, so one of his old patron mates. He was given warm winter bedding and a monthly stipend for books and better food. So, now he's kind of living the life. During exercise walks he was granted in the prison, he found a piece of black marble and an iron bar, which he smuggled back to his cell. And when he temporarily he didn't have any cellmates in his room, so he spent 2 weeks sharpening the bar into a spike on the stone. And when he began to gouge through the wooden floor underneath his bed, like he's going to escape through the
Oh,
floor.
dig a hole in the floor.
Dig a hole in the floor because underneath, he knew that he was directly above the Inquisitor's chambers, so it's like just he could get out, which is pretty funny. But then, just 3 days before his intended escape, during a festival where no officials would be in the chamber below, Casanova was moved to a larger, lighter cell with a view. Despite his protest that he was perfectly happy where he was. He's like, nah, I'm good.
I love it.
I don't mind it here.
This
It's fine."
shithole is so good.
Nah, you know, like,
Homely.
yeah,
I love-
I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Most of the pill in the wall is mine.
It's fine, right? So they move him, and he's like, no, and he's very depressed, but he overcomes his disappointment,
Yeah, you got to get busy living or get busy dying.
and he sets up another escape plan. So he gets the help of the prisoner in the adjacent cell, Father Balby, who was like a renegade priest, apparently.
Oh, I love this character
Why
already.
Love
does he
it.
want to leave? He's got a view now.
He's got a view.
He's got
I
a
don't know
view-
why you'd want
He's got
to.
a view and an awesome sidekick.
It's so good.
Doesn't have to pay rent. Sounds great.
So he smuggles the spike to his mate.
Same spike.
Same spike. And then the priest makes a hole in his ceiling, climbs across, and made a hole in the ceiling of Casanova's cell. And I don't really understand. Some of this does not make sense because basically Casanova's cellmate was a spy. There to spy on Casanova, but Casanova scares him. He intimidates him and terrorizes him into silence. So eventually, Balby breaks into Casanova's cell. They get out onto the roof. I think none of it makes sense. Eventually, they drop into one of the rooms and they change clothes. They have a little bit of a sleep. They change their clothes.
We're out of the cell. Time
Yeah.
for a nap.
Well, that's exactly what they do. And then they just kind of casually walk out, and there's a guard there, and because there'd been I think there'd been some sort of function or something like that. So oh, we just fell asleep after the function.
Oh, had a few
Aren't we
too
supposed-
many
and they
wines.
get out. And they get out.
So they really do walk out the front door.
They walked out the front door.
That really does
Escaped
sound
by
unescapable.
gondola. By gondola.
It is totally unescapable.
Unescapable. They just wander out. Now, skeptics reckon that Casanova's tale is a little bit implausible, right? And I thought that too.
Well, you did just say this doesn't make any sense several times.
Well, yeah. So I am one of the skeptics. They sort of figured he probably bribed his way out. However, some physical evidence does exist in the state records, including repairs to the cell ceilings
Oh, that's very
that
good.
kind of match up with that time. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, how many times have you broken out of an inescapable prison?
How many?
Yeah, how many times?
We're talking about full inescapable?
Yeah. How? What do you mean? Are there degrees of inescapability?
Yeah,
I
well-
think there are, Jess.
I'd say.
Why have you turned on me
I mean,
now?
there's.
Well, because Matt and I have broken out of many prisons together.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, we were once known as Bonnie and Dave Warnicky.
That's
For
right.
some reason, I was known as Bonnie for a little while back.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too, and so did our fans.
You know how I feel about nicknames. So
You feel real good about them.
Bonnie,
Bonnie,
I like
Oh,
it.
Bonnie's a good one.
Yeah.
Matt Bonnie Stewart. They used to
Oh,
call me,
that's actually really good.
My Bonnie.
yeah.
That's great.
I've broken out. Look, I'd say clear 6, but there is one that was borderline inescapable. So that's why I
Sure.
asked the question.
Sure.
One of them, it wasn't it wasn't on the sign
Uh-huh.
inescapable, but it was strongly implied. It was one of those unwritten rules.
Uh-huh.
Sounds to me like it's a really a high security prison, but they accidentally left the door unlocked or something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
they themselves, if you really pushed them,
Yeah.
would admit that it was escapable.
Sure.
I got them to admit that when I had a gun to their head.
And I
as
would
was
argue-
escaping.
Uh-huh.
They're like, yeah, okay, it's escapable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, say it like you mean it,
Uh-huh.
or I'm going to blow your fucking
And then
nose off.
and then how did they say it?
And they said, sorry, Bonnie. And I said, look, it's fine. And we chatted and we chatted.
Yeah.
I actually had a 6-pack of Tecate Mexican beers under my arm
Did
at
you?
the time. Yeah. Am I pronouncing that right, Tecate?
Who knows? Am I
Uh,
Mexican?
I don't think that beer really exists.
Look, just Google it, mate. I mean, you were there. You were only 5 feet ahead of me. I remember you were tapping your watch. You're going,
Hurry up.
come on.
There is no time for small talk.
And I'm like, come on, this guy's he's having a rough trot. Anyway, we knocked down a beer pretty quickly and moved on. What was the question again?
I'm not sure.
Was it cool?
Do I regret asking? Yes.
So, Cass, Nova.
He's out of prison.
A.
Anyway, so he flees to Paris and he's matured, guys. He's grown up.
How old is he now? He's still pretty
I don't
young.
know, young still, but he's
Dave and his fucking questions.
well, he's in Paris, but he's got nothing, right? Because obviously he's just broken out of prison.
Define nothing. No, sorry, I'm just trying to be facetious. Please go on.
The Oxford Dictionary defines nothing as the
fuck
lack
off,
of-
Dave.
Oh, okay.
Interesting that you were going to go for an actual.
Well, I was
Which is
I
fair.
was looking for a joke midway.
You
I thought something was going to come.
Yeah.
As you
And
saw
Don't
right
worry.
now.
If I keep talking long enough, a punchline will... No, it will not.
No,
Please,
hold on, help
save me, Jess.
Bail me out. Bail me out. I've gotten pretty good over 51, two episodes of knowing the look on your face when you need bailing out.
Now, look, I was about to hit gold.
Were you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry
Just-
to
I
have
was
stopped you.
One dig
prospector.
away. Yeah. My little gold detector was bipping.
Alrighty. Anyway.
Bonnie is on fire today.
Oh, don't start him, please.
So he's in Paris. Pardon
He's
me.
in
He's got
Paris.
nothing.
He's in Paris and he's looking for a new patron because he wants somebody to support him again, right? He wants.
I love this lifestyle.
Me too. I'd be up for it. In fact, we were talking about that recently, where elderly rich men just look for company on holidays, like somebody just to come on holidays with them.
Like,
It's not always a sex
I was
thing.
gonna say, it's not a sex worker.
No.
I'd
Anyway,
do
yeah, I'd totally do that. I reckon.
that. Are they like? Would you expect payment as well, or just cover your costs?
I mean, I suppose it's probably dependent on the person and the situation.
I've
I'm assuming you'd come to some sort of arrangement.
yeah,
A
I've-
contract would be drawn.
yeah.
I've
sure.
actually done that. We didn't draw a contract, but my grandpa needed to go to China with someone, and I volunteered.
What?
I was his arm candy.
Needed
would've
to
done
go
that
to
for sure.
China with someone.
Mm.
Why did
It
he?
was actually it was like a thing that he booked a tour, and it was like my parents in one room, and then he needed to share a room with someone else, and I was like,
He needed to share a room.
well, it was like a
twin
thing.
share
They
room.
paid for it's like a tour.
Yeah, so he could have gone alone, but he thought it would be a waste of money.
Well, essentially, he's extended his
Or
arm to his grandson and said, "Would you like to go to China?"
or were you some sort of decoy so he could get through the border control with something up his butt?
Oh my god.
No, the thing was up my butt. That
There
is where
it
the plan
is.
differs.
There it is.
See, Matt, you would have checked my grandpa's butt, but you would not have checked mine, would you?
That is a good decoy.
and that is how I got through customs.
I kind of would you would fit like one pill in your butt.
Do you think that my butt is less curvaceous, like a cavity, has a smaller cavity than most?
Yes.
A small. What does small man
mean,
equal
you-
small cavity?
I mean,
Hashtag small man small cavity.
I think
you've got a small throat.
you've
You
got a
can't
small
you can't
everything.
eat more than one pea at a time. So I can't imagine you'd. I imagine your poop would be like
his
like
face.
rabbit pellets.
He's so confused and
Oh.
upset right now.
I don't know to be offended or to be. I don't like. How do I take
Neither.
this?
I mean, it's just
Just
we're
the facts of
We're
life.
just putting the mirror back up to your butt and showing you what's in it.
which-
Not a lot.
which ironically is exactly how I got the thing up there in the first place.
Yeah, you need a mirror. It's
Need
all
a
about
mirror.
angles, otherwise it's very
Yeah, because
uncomfortable
it's very hard to find your own butt. I don't know if you know this.
to
Yeah,
find your
I've
own
been looking
butt.
It's
for
very
years.
fun. Yes, keep looking, Matt. You'll strike gold eventually. Beep, 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 beep. There she is.
Okay. Hey, remember at the very start of this episode, we're like, oh, we've got limited time.
Yeah.
Glad we talked about your butts for a long time there.
Yeah, but that was worth it, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it
Because I've
was.
discovered
That's
I have a
fun.
small cavity.
Well, we don't know that for sure. It's an assumption from two people who do not have any knowledge of the human body.
Look,
I think you were about to say of my butt.
or your
Because
butt.
You
That's
have a
true.
little bit of knowledge.
I think
I've
we
seen
can.
your butt
Have
in
you?
jeans.
Oh. Okay.
I can't
Alright.
picture your
I
butt.
see,
I'm
yeah, I can't-
picturing a very
I've
small.
never looked at your butts.
I'm
Either of
being
you.
sexually objectified and loving it. So,
And neither of us said anything complimentary or.
about my... Oh, I don't expect you to praise the
No,
cavity
but we
of my
weren't
butt.
really objectifying you. I was just saying, like, I've seen you in person before. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh. Oh,
Like weekly.
well, this is...
She's doing it right now.
I'm looking at you right now. I mean, you're sitting down, but I can kind of see the side of your butt. I can see like hip.
I feel
This is very
threatened. I
confrontational.
feel very threatened. I feel like you're eyeing me off.
I'm not. You're safe.
She's squinting so she can see your butt.
Yeah, I don't have my glasses on.
Normally people.
He just presented.
He's presenting.
Check it out.
But like, Okay, I need to describe what he
Honestly,
looks like.
can someone got some binoculars or something? I cannot.
He's sitting on his chair with his arms crossed, looking all mad at us, but then just kind of like lifts his leg a bit so I can look at his butt
Just a little.
better.
Hey, I'm a tease,
Looking
but I'm
at
not
the
going to.
spot where his butt should be.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to give it all away. I'm gonna keep some cards up my sleeve and some
Sure.
things up my butt.
Yeah, you got to.
Things. See, that's where I think
Things.
you're definitely being ambitious, thinking you get things up
Things.
there.
Or you multiple. So it should
I'm thinking
be.
you get thing up there.
Oh, okay. What thing?
Like a small, maybe half a, like what are we talking about? What kind of thing are you smuggling? I was assuming drugs, but I don't know.
Not firearms.
Firearms.
Several-
One bullet. I
multiple-
reckon you'd be able to get a bullet up
A
there.
small bullet
A small bullet.
for a pea shooter.
Yeah. A pea.
A pea. A really frozen pea that you could put inside a gun and shoot it quickly.
I was thinking more like a like overcooked one, so it's quite mushy. He's kind of like
Mushy pea, yeah.
mushy pea
Well-
up your butt.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Serves no
What are you
purpose.
begging?
Oh, you mean you can't define the texture or
I
how
said
thick the pea is?
overcooked. I said overcooked, so it's mushy.
Overcooked.
It's mushy, mate. You got
Our
a mushy
English
pea.
So I'm,
listeners will
I'm
enjoy
smuggling one mushy pea.
Yep.
God, that cost my grandpa thousands.
What does the Chinese market offer for a mushy pea?
I don't know. I hope
Better
it was
be
worth
bloody
it.
worth it.
How old were you?
Oh, this is this time about 5 years ago.
Okay.
So your
21.
Your butt cavity would have been fully developed.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was a
It was a full adult.
You're an adult.
not a
butt.
boy, not yet a man,
Sure.
but still.
Britney Spears.
Thank you.
You were Britney Spears.
He's
Oh,
Britney
well.
Spears at the time.
Hey, do you reckon you could get more stuff in her butt or my butt?
Look, I'm
Just
going
ask
out
yourself.
on a limb here. But I reckon everyone in the world could fit more in their butt than you.
I reckon a baby.
I'm including small animals.
I really like. I rise to a
This is-
challenge.
So fun. Oh, are you going to try and put something
I
in your
feel
butt
like-
now? Don't. You know what,
All right,
Dave?
point to something.
First live podcast,
No,
we
no.
put something up Dave's butt.
I want to
No.
do it right
Put
now.
some-
Point to something
You're
in
not
this
doing it
room.
right now.
Point to something in this
No,
room.
Dave, you can do this in your own time, and please don't message us about it afterwards. What are you pointing at? His drink bottle. Of course, you go for, and it's like it's not one of the, it's not the one that sort of
Doesn't have a
crushes
tapered
down
end.
into anything. It's a
It's made out of aluminium.
Well,
Or
aluminum for our American listeners.
listeners.
aluminum.
We're so in sync.
We are in sync.
Just like Chelsea tea.
Yep, there we go. Yep. Can I? Do you reckon I should go on with the podcast? Maybe.
I'm going to be
Are
distracted.
we doing a
but
podcast?
Yeah.
I'm going to be distracted thinking about how offended I am. But please do go
Can
on.
you just like pause your butt thinking for now? I know it's hard.
My butt.
Yeah, I know your butt's hard,
Thank you.
but tiny,
Firm.
firm.
Thank you. Yes. Now we're talking.
Because it's
These are some
bone.
words you like.
It's
Yeah, I like
basically
this. My butt is made of bone.
You know what though? If we were having this conversation, but I was the target, it would be incredibly creepy, wouldn't it?
no good at all. Nah, that's the thing about female privilege. Where does it
Yeah.
end?
When
Where
will it
does it-
stop?
where does it
When
end?
will it stop?
We got it too good for too long.
Yeah.
Hey, don't see me arguing. Okay, so
Can I before you go on, just
Sure.
to get you back on track? Every
Yes.
time I hear Casanova, I just think Casanova, Casanova, baby. So I just had to sing it
Was
once.
that
Great.
Shania Twain?
no,
What? Come on,
Christina
o-
Aguilera.
Is it? Oh, that's who it is. What a butt.
Hey Dave,
Please
you
do.
host trivia nights. Have you ever heard the team name Quiz Teamer Aguilera?
Oh, that's good.
Oh. The second most common after trivia, Newton John.
Oh,
which is-
very good.
No,
too.
it is not good.
Nah, it's pretty good.
you're
What
listening to
about
this-
quiz in my pants?
Oh, actually, that's second.
Yeah, Jizz ones are pretty common.
Just
Yeah.
one.
Had one. I was at one last week, and the one team went with Quizchin Bale.
Oh, ugh, yeah.
I hadn't heard that before.
Not terrible, but a bit of a stretch.
I haven't. Like Dave's a real trivia veteran, so I'm still impressed by any sort of quiz. Pun.
Sure.
Quiz Christopherson.
Oh,
good,
very
double.
good. Very good, yeah.
I like that. There's a AFL player, Cyril Rioli, is it?
Yep, yeah.
Cyril Quizholi.
That's pretty
Oh,
funny.
That's a
It's so bad. I love it.
It's pretty bad.
I love it. I love really bad ones.
Did we were needing to pad this episode out, right?
No.
'Cause your
Oh.
report was short.
No.
And you said if you could just pad it out.
No, I was saying
Maybe
the
some
opposite.
butt talk.
I was
and then
saying the
some
opposite.
Quiz puns.
No, I was saying I've got more to go. and we need to get through it.
Uh,
I mean,
let-
I'm enjoying butt talk as much as the next person,
Is that a new segment?
and you know I hate being the stiffler for
He was the
time
party animal.
management.
The one with the hot mum.
Stickler
Stickler.
is what I was going for. Oh, I can't even
Stiffler.
sentence right.
Let me just say, Casanova, Casanova, baby.
Well, that's how we got.
So we're in Paris.
We're in Paris.
He's
Fuck,
got
we've been
nothing.
in Paris for a long time.
He's got nothing.
He's got nothing.
He's looking for a benefactor.
a new sugar daddy.
Oh, that's how we got here.
Yeah. So he becomes through his old friend de Bernice. God, my French is no good. Who is now the foreign minister of France. He is advised by his friend to find means of raising funds for the state as a way to gain the trust of France.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
So
that's
because
taking
like
France down.
yeah, so
Wants to get
they're
in
like getting
France
his good
pants.
books. Yeah, he wants to get in France pants
Oh.
or France pants.
France pants.
France pants.
I got a penchant for France pants.
So he becomes one of the trustees for the first state lottery and one of its best ticket salesmen. So he's selling tickets to the lottery.
Oh.
You know how
many
he's a
jobs are we
gambling
up to?
man. Oh, I've lost track.
'Cause he's a great gambler.
He's a great gambler. He's obviously quite charming. So he's like
Wait,
selling
wasn't he an
tickets for the
awful
lottery.
gambler?
Well,
yeah,
a
what's
passionate
great
one.
about
terms are not mutually exclusive. That's right.
Yeah, he's a great gambler, but not necessarily good at it.
I think the casino would count him as a great gambler.
Yes.
Great customer.
Great
Yeah.
customer. Right, so by doing this, by becoming one of the trustees of the first lottery and by selling all the tickets, he actually earned like quite a large fortune quite quickly. Like he's making some cash now.
Oh, there's a lot to be said about fucking people over, isn't there, for money?
There's
You get a lot, but
yeah. Nah, but worth it though, eh? Yeah, I reckon. Anyway, so now he's got money.
We're doing it wrong, Jess.
We're doing it wrong. Have we not? Are we not making millions from this?
Oh,
oh,
from this or anything else.
Yeah, no, good point. But hey, we're following our dreams, I guess, or
I've embezzled all the money, so I'm rich. It's great.
what money?
All of it.
Where are you getting money
Where are you getting
from?
money from?
Don't ask questions.
But that seems like a very valid question to ask.
Just buy a lottery ticket and shut up.
That's probably how Casanova was selling him, I reckon. Buy a lottery
Oh.
ticket and shut up.
All right,
No, like,
Mr.
'cause
Casanova.
this guy is charming.
He's charming as shit.
Just do what he says.
So now he's got money, right? And he's like, he's moving in all the high circles.
And it's his own money now, so he's
It's
not
his own
even
money.
like,
Oh,
with a
yeah.
sugar daddy.
Yeah, but so now he's like, he's with all the top class people. He's moving in the cool groups. Okay, if he's in high school, he's not hanging out with the kids playing chess.
Chess club.
Nah, mate.
Poor chess club.
He'd probably be hanging out with the drama kids because they're the coolest ones. Anyway,
Look,
I don't know if they
reckon the
are.
ones-
Dave, shut the fuck up. You were a drama kid too.
Yeah, and I was not the coolest.
Oh, Dave, I
That's
really
all right, I
thought
have-
you'd have my back on that one.
No, I love drama, love theatre,
Do
Oh,
ya?
I wish I had a thing.
love Chekhov,
Chekhov, Brecht,
love them all.
ugh, Stanislavski.
I don't know. I wonder what. I have no idea what I would have been stereotyped as at school.
Stoner. Just by the look of you, not by your
Yeah,
actions
Probably.
or your drug use.
Never been stoned.
Yeah, but just by the look of you and your droll nature, stoner.
People, yeah, that assumption was made at times.
Yeah. I know, mate. I know. Hey.
Well, I
It's
showed
okay.
them.
It's okay to have no direction or passion or interests or talents. It's okay.
Yeah, it's great. It's
It's great.
It's fine to have no talents or interests, and not
Yeah.
even have a drug habit to blame it on.
It's great that most people
fine.
that you went to school with have probably forgotten you exist. That's great. Good on you. Hey, Maddie. You're very quiet over there now, buddy.
Just searching for something to say.
Yeah.
There's no defense.
God, you've taken the butt from your mirror and held it in front of your face. The mirror from your butt, I meant. Fuck, that's a weird one. You've taken the butt from your mirror.
You take that back.
Old mirror butt steward over there.
No, I reckon everyone at university, we're at high school's
High school.
thinking about me right now.
I reckon they were.
Bloody hell.
Is he still alive,
Wonder
they
what-
say?
Wonder what happened to that guy.
What happened to him? Who? That's what they say to each other.
Wonder how magnificent his beard is now. It was so good when he was a teen.
So he's moving in all the fancy circles, and he dupes many of the socialites with his occultism. You know how like they thought
Oh,
he
yeah, he was a
he had
witch.
some sort of
Oh, because he saved a guy.
yeah, right. So they think he's
By
got some
taking
sort of
poison off his chest.
yeah.
Witch.
He's one of the occult. Anyway, so he
Hey guys, if you don't shoot him in the heart, he'll probably feel better.
yeah.
What kind of magic is this?
What is this?
Ooh.
Where are you from?
But if you must shoot him, please use this bullet from within my butt.
So
Silver bullet in Warnicke's butt.
So Cass is just using his excellent memory, which made him appear to have a sorcerer's power of numerology. Again, numerology, sorcerer's power? Okay. But everybody thinks he's just amazing. He also
Because he can remember numbers.
because he remembers things. But not just, I don't think it's just numbers. I think it's also like, he just has a good memory. So he
Dave.
recalls things and uses, yeah, he's
Dave,
very observant.
I have this power as well. Dave, think of a number right now.
Between
Any number.
any
at all.
number.
Okay, got it.
You got one?
Yeah.
64.
Oh, close. 69.
Lol.
what?
Oh, yeah.
So obvious now that you've said it.
Oh.
The funniest number.
I like to think that he was probably just predicting things that no one could confirm nor deny. Like, ask me what I had for breakfast when I was 7 on the 26th of August. What do you have for breakfast? Bread. I had bread. Oh, very good.
Thank you for using my birthday in that imaginary flashback.
No
too.
worry.
Thank you for that.
Your birthday.
It's
I'm
26th of August.
26th of August. That's what I would have said.
Yeah.
And I just heard it. And I
The memory.
already could not remember.
Your
Great.
memory is amazing.
You're
Mr. Memory.
Most of memory over there.
That's what they used to call me. Bonnie Mr. Memory.
God, it's a complicated nickname.
It is.
Hey, but if you got a
we
great
by
memory,
it.
you can remember it.
complicated.
Well, yeah, for me it was fine. Because I get the memory, but, others. Okay.
Okay, so Casanova also claimed to be an alchemist, which made him really popular with some of the most prominent figures of the era because alchemy was really popular amongst the nobles, particularly the search for the Philosopher's Stone, the first Harry Potter book. They all wanted a copy,
Right.
and most of the bookshops had run out. So
alchemy, of course, being turning base metals into precious metals.
yeah.
Gold and
So they're all looking for the
et cetera.
Philosopher's Stone, which is sought after because it's supposed to give you eternal life, right? So everybody, all these
So
nobles,
people were morons back then.
yeah, pretty much. So he's profiting from that too because he's just bullshitting, and they're like, "Oh my god, give him all your money. He's amazing."
Love this guy.
Yeah, he's so good. So, as the 7 Years' War began, Casanova was again called to help increase the state treasury. So he was entrusted with the mission of selling state bonds in Amsterdam. Like, don't send him to Amsterdam.
Was Amsterdam always...
I think it's always been well, who knows, actually. This is a long time ago.
Venice is, at this point, the party capital
Well,
of
that's
Europe.
true. That's true. So maybe Amsterdam's still finding its party legs, you know? Okay, this is why. Because Holland was the financial centre of Europe at the time. That makes
Everything's
sense.
bloody topsy-turvy back then.
Yeah, Holland is where all the money is. Venice, party central.
Come on.
Can't keep up.
now it's not like that at all.
So he succeeds in selling the bonds at an 8% discount. I don't really know what it all sort of adds up to, but he's made a lot of monny. The following year, he
Sounds
was
like he's ripped off the treasury.
probably,
I'll give you all this for 10% less than it's worth.
but it made him rich enough that he was able to found a silk manufactory.
He found a silk manufactory.
Like he
How do
started
you lose
one.
one in the first place?
You're an idiot. All right. Yeah, I'll give you
I'm
that.
so sorry, but please edit that out.
Nope,
That's one of the worst things I've ever said in my life.
that's not true at all.
But silk's like...
One time you said handmut, so...
Someone like that. Finger dick in the hand mut. Has that taken off online?
I don't think it has.
I really thought that was going to catch on.
No,
I
I'm
thought it was
glad
going
it
to become a
didn't.
meme.
I think we lost followers that week.
I remember that too. Oh.
So he's making silk. Now, you can make good money from silk back then, can't you? Like, it's a rare thing, right?
Yeah, so he's got like a silk factory. Right, so he's doing quite well. And then, of course, because he's doing well, he starts to fuck it up. So the French government even offered him a title and a pension if he'd become a French citizen and work on behalf of the finance ministry. But he said no, possibly because some people speculate it was because it would frustrate his wanderlust. You know, he doesn't want to settle. He never does things for too long. It's like he's got commitment issues.
But becoming a citizen, will that tie you down? I don't know.
Who knows?
Has
Well,
he got-
apparently, according to him.
He's got itchy feet.
Itchy feet is
Is
the
that a
one.
thing?
Yeah, yeah.
He's got itchy
Balls.
feet. Balls.
He's got
Itchy balls.
He's got itchy balls.
So-
He's doing a lot of fucking.
he's got athlete's foot.
Look at athlete's foot of
on
the
his
balls.
Athlete's balls.
It's weird that he keeps putting his balls
He's got
in
athlete's
his pair of
balls.
Nikes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is weird. It's weird that he has Nikes.
It's cool that he does.
Oh, it's very cool.
Very hip.
Very cool.
He is ahead of the game.
By
I think
hundreds of
he is the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, good call. Right, so he's reached his peak of fortune, but of course he can't sustain it because it's Casanova, and as soon as things start to go well, he fucks it up. So he ran the business poorly, he borrowed heavily trying to save it, and he spent much of his wealth on constant liaisons with his female workers. Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah, he's creepy. He's very creepy.
No.
So for his debts, he's...
Wait, do we like this guy?
I don't know. I'm a flip-flopper in any situation, but this guy... ugh. It's a good story. He's not a good person.
Right.
So for his debts, he's imprisoned again, but was liberated just a few days later. He doesn't have a patron to hide behind, and his enemies are like closing in because he burns bridges a lot, so he makes enemies.
He literally burns bridges.
He literally burns bridges. So he sells the rest of his belongings, and he secured another mission to Holland to distance himself from his troubles. And then things just continue to not go so well. He gets arrested again. He escapes to Switzerland. He just kind of keeps moving around. It's very, very strange. And he travels all over Europe. He travels to England in 1763, hoping to sell his idea of a state lottery to English officials. So it's like he's like trademarked the lottery.
Yeah.
Smart play.
Very smart.
I'm wondering, right, like, you know when people say, oh, he's a bit of a Casanova? I'm normally going, oh, ladies' man.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to be like, okay, wait, in which way? Is he in and out of jail a lot?
Yeah.
Is
Or...
he a shit gambler or...
Yeah. Has he had many jobs?
Oh, no, you mean a womanizer. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
okay,
just
cool.
checking, just
No.
double checking, because this guy had a lot of facets.
The more you know. The more you know. You know?
Oh, I know.
Right. This is great. So, in 1766, he was expelled from Warsaw following a pistol duel with a Polish colonel over an Italian actress, a lady friend of theirs.
Oh, my God.
Now, both duelists were wounded, Casanova on the left hand. His hand recovered on its own after Casanova refused the recommendation of doctors that it would be amputated. They were like, that needs to go. And he was like, man, it'll be right.
And it was.
And it healed. So again,
Oh, that's smart.
it's the occult.
This man is magic.
It's the occult. He just knows.
But back then they were like, oh, you got a little bit of a scratch on your leg. Lop it off.
Chop it
Yeah. Well, you've had a good run.
Yeah. Now you'll
Off
never
with his head.
run again.
Yeah,
Well-
no, just kill him.
Well, if that happened to your left leg, it could happen to your right leg, so we better take that one as well.
Better get him off.
Get him off.
Get him off.
Get him off. Just put wheels on him.
Love wheels.
It's the future. Everyone will be getting around on wheels. Right, they were.
In one way.
Right, they bloody were. So now he's sort of known across Europe for his reckless behaviour, and he knew he'd have difficulty overcoming his notoriety and gaining any fortune. So he heads for Spain, where he wasn't as well known.
Last resort. Spain.
Well, I have nowhere else to go. I'll go to Spain.
I better go to Spain.
Hey, it's not a bad way.
Boring old Spain.
Yeah.
I've been to the party capital of Vienna. Now I'm going to go slum it in Ibiza.
Woo!
So not that many doors opened for him though in Spain, which is disappointing. So he just kind of roams around for a little bit. And then his Spanish adventure was a bit of a failure. So he returns to France briefly and then to Italy. And in Rome, Casanova had to prepare a way to get back to Venice, because Venice was sort of like, you fuck off and don't come back. So he wants to try and get back to Venice now, because that's where he's from, and he wants to go home. So to suck up to the Venetian authorities, Casanova did some commercial spying for them. So now he's a spy too.
New job.
New job. We should have had a job count. You know how we've had like death counts in the past. We should have had a job count.
Feels like
Sorry,
we're up to
that didn't
about
sound-
8 or 9
Yeah, it's something up there.
careers. He's very
Yeah.
Gen Y.
Yeah.
Very ahead of his time.
So by doing a little bit of spying, he was finally permitted a return to Venice in September of 1774 after 18 years of exile. So he hadn't been home for 18 years and they finally let him back in.
Oh, it's probably changed and he doesn't even like it anymore.
Well, no, they were actually very welcoming to him. He was kind of treated like a celebrity. He was like welcomed back home, which is quite nice. And even the inquisitors wanted to know how he had escaped from their prison. It's like, but how'd you do it, Casanova? He's great.
Very easy. I just dug a hole in the roof and walked out the front door. Oh. I thought it was inescapable.
Okay.
We'd never thought
Should
about
have thought
that.
of the front door.
God, we really should put one on.
We should put one on and maybe get a man on there.
Yeah.
Get a man on the door. So of his, 3 previous patrons from Venice, only one was alive, Dandolo, and he invited Casanova to live with him. And he got like a little bit of money from him and tried to just live from his writing, but it wasn't enough. So he reluctantly became a spy again for Venice, and reported on like religion, morals, commerce. Most of it was based on gossip and rumours that he picked up from social contacts. So he's just like gossiping. And
I reckon Brittany and Justin might get back together after all.
fuck off. They will not.
No,
She
they
said
won't.
they were done for.
Yeah, no. Also, he said something bad about Virgin Mary.
What?
Yep.
Not really a virgin.
Not really a Mary.
So at age 49, the years of reckless living and the thousands of miles of travel had taken their toll. His smallpox scars, sunken cheeks, and hook nose became all the more noticeable.
So he obviously survived smallpox. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Pretty great, guys. Remember, 1/3 of people died.
So he's doing pretty well. But, he's one of the lucky ones. You can tell that from the rest of his life story. He's one of the lucky ones. Right. And now he's like, he was all easygoing before, but now he's kind of guarded and he's grumpy. And Dave was right. Venice had changed, and now he doesn't have as much money for gambling, and women don't want to have sex with him, and he doesn't have as many friends, so he's just kind of bored.
What do you mean you only had sex with me when I was rich? What?
Yeah, what do you mean? When I was young and wealthy,
Young and
that's when
wealthy.
you wanted to have sex with
When
me.
I was good looking.
Now
and I
I'm
wasn't covered in scars and had no money.
and now
and
I'm
was
middle-aged and poor, and you won't have sex with me.
What's a hook nose? Is that like a hook hand?
Yeah,
They replaced his nose with a hook. Yeah, mate.
he's got a hook for a hand.
That hand looks pretty
Hook for an
infected. We're probably going to take that off and your nose.
And your nose.
We'll replace it with a hook.
Hey, if you're gonna get a
Somewhere to
scratch
hang
on
your keys, mate.
if you're gonna get a scratch on your hand, that could happen to your nose.
Yeah, we'll replace it with a wheel. You'll wheel around.
Really
Everyone's sniffing with wheels.
Yuck.
It's the way of the future.
So things aren't going so well, guys. And then he heard of the death of his mother, and this is sad. More paining. He visited the deathbed of Bettina Gozzi. You know, the girl he was in love with when he was a kid.
Bettina, the ugliest
Bettina.
name in the land.
Betty? What do we end up
Betty.
calling her? Betty. She died in his arms, which is kind of nice, I guess.
Wait, unless like his arms were strangling
No.
her, or
No.
Or one of them was a hook. And it was caught in her
Stop
eye.
it.
Because that'd be a painful way
yeah,
to
that'd
go.
be an awful way to go. One of the worst.
You're already dying and then someone gouges your eye.
First, he goes in for the kiss, and his nose hooks her,
Oh, no.
her eye, and then he tries to get it off with his hook hand, and that just rips her face off.
And then he's onto his legs, which have been replaced by wheels, and suddenly he's wheeling down the stairs out of control.
Skid marks on her back for some reason. Oh,
Turns out
it's the worst.
she wasn't even dying. She was just having a nap. It's like Romeo and Juliet all over again.
She just had a nap.
Oh.
You've made a real mess of this, Casa.
Casanova, Casanova, baby. Please. This is a sad moment.
The wheels are falling off Casanova and this show.
The wheels are falling off Casanova. Still got the hook.
Did you know Casanova met Benjamin Franklin?
No.
Yeah, they
Really?
met while attending a presentation on aeronautics and the future of balloon transport. Why was Casanova there?
That makes sense to me.
Oh.
No, it does make sense. So
Benjamin Franklin's the $100 bill guy, right? Oh, he's on a note anyway.
Yeah, the founding.
They talk about Benjamins.
Oof.
I'm out there making Benjamins.
yeah.
The people thought no one says that. Do they? Oh boy.
No, I've heard that.
What do we like? Who's on our currency that we could say something cool?
We're out there making banjo Pattersons.
Yeah.
Making some banjos.
Yeah.
Some
Are you
Dame.
building banjos? No, I'm making.
Making banjos. Big time.
Big time.
What's
I'm
he
making
on?
banjos rain.
He's on the 10.
He's on the 10. I thought so.
Making it
You're
rain.
making tens of
Yeah,
dollars.
he's on our 100.
Make it rain, Sir John Monash. Yeah.
he's
and
50.
Dame Nellie Melba.
oh,
they're
they're
on
the
the 100. Yeah.
Oh,
See,
Dave would know.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Then
See
I
how,
was gonna-
that's how frequently Matt and I see $100 bills.
Yeah, but I'm sleeping in them because I'm embezzling from the pod.
Oh, of course.
What pod money?
Hey, I'll handle the business.
No, that's fair. He's the businessman.
Thanks.
I'm
a
the
mogul.
soul.
I'm a mogul.
Anyway, pressing on. So he becomes a secretary and pamphleteer to Sebastian.
Yeah, as a secretary.
He's a secretary now. Sebastian Forsarini, who is a Venetian ambassador in Vienna. And then Forsarini dies. And so Casanova he's searching for another position. And a few months later, he becomes the librarian to Count Joseph Karl von Waldstein.
What? I'm sure you made that up. I'm sure it got late and you decided to cut the report and just start writing whatever came to you.
I feel like she was making that up as she was saying it.
Say it again.
And she-
Try and
she-
nail
she
it word for
changed-
word.
She changed her mind 4 times mid-name.
So, bomb, CEO. What was it?
He became the librarian to Count Joseph Karl von Waldstein.
The
I've
li-
never heard of a
Waldstein.
more made-up name.
Joseph Karl
Joey
von...
Jojo Jr. Shabadoo?
That's the worst name I ever heard. Joey Jojo.
Joseph Karl von Waldstein.
Let's say it all together.
Joseph Karl von Waldstein.
Joseph Karl von
Waldstein.
Okay.
We'll never forget Joseph Karl von Waldstein.
So essentially, he's the librarian to the stars.
The Count.
He's a librarian now.
What's going on? Is
What?
anyone? He's probably just saying he's got all these uni degrees.
Yeah, he's like, I'm qualified for all these jobs.
Personal librarian.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably more to the role than just, just
Filing books
than
in
the
the
Dewey-
system.
No, I wanted to make a Dewey joke. Oh, I was so close.
You wanted to make a Jewy joke?
I wanted to make a
Go on then.
the Dewey Decimal System
I didn't
joke.
make, I just said the words. I didn't make a. You make a Jewy joke.
Anyway, he's a librarian. So this job
to Joseph
to
Karl
the stars,
von Waldstein.
Joseph Karl von Waldstein. So you remember his name,
I'll never forget. I'm going to get it tattooed on my palm.
Joseph Karl von Waldstein.
Oh, that's right. I'll look at my palm.
Anyway,
You'd get it tattooed on your butt if you had one.
Yeah, that name would not fit. That's too long.
high five man again for that. Oh, little butt Warnicky over there.
Hey,
Or let's call him Little Tush.
Little tush.
Little Tush
I'm
Warnicky.
happy with that.
Hey, Little Tush.
Hey, girl.
Ew.
Hey.
Why'd
Oh,
you
sorry.
make it- We're having fun, Dave.
Why'd you
Why'd
ruin
have
it?
to make it weird?
Oh,
Why'd you
sorry.
have to ruin
I
it?
thought you guys were hitting on me.
I'm always hitting on you, Dave.
Yeah, girl.
No.
Stop
No.
it! Stop
The
it!
worst.
Yuck! Okay, one more time.
I gotta go, girl. Catch you at the store.
What is happening?
We'll get a pita wrap. I don't know.
What are you doing? Everything feels weird now.
He doesn't love pita.
No good. I feel uncomfortable.
Why?
What's happening?
Why? What? How do you have
What
a
is that
girlfriend?
voice? Well, I don't know
Why
what that
am I
voice
the
is.
single one?
Quit hassling me, girl.
Let's go get a pita wrap. Oh, what?
What's? I don't understand what that is. What are you referencing? What's happening?
I'm creating my own reference.
What is it? Like it's a weird. It's like half an accent. What are you doing?
What are you doing? With your life, Dave.
Oh, stop trying to deconstruct this life.
Oh,
yeah,
my
you're right.
face
Let's just let it
hurts.
happen.
Oh. I haven't laughed for so long.
No, we know.
Not like that.
Oh, I finally broke Matt.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All it took was a pita wrap.
My face. I was
Just
the
so
weirdest.
random.
What are you doing?
So random. That's so random. Anyway, let's get this over and done with.
Girl.
Girl.
Oh,
Let's get this. Hey, do go on, girl.
I made my vagina close up.
Wow. Look, I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say.
Hey, Matt, how's your vagina?
It's gone.
How long did you have a vagina for? Before it closed up. Because Dave said, girl.
I want this to move on. Please, Jess.
Go on, Jess. Let's bring this bad boy home.
Do go on.
Oh, God, it hurts. I actually thought I was going to throw up for a second there.
Oh, man.
Wow.
It is hot in here.
Oh,
I
okay.
got the vapors.
Okay, so... Oh, boy. It's very, very funny.
Things have gone way off the rails.
I'm just going to try and finish this up now. But like,
I think that's for the
poor
best.
Casanova, I mean, his life gets super sad and we're just going to like brush over it. No, it doesn't. He's fine. Anyway, he's not fine.
No,
Anyway.
did he put something in the wrong place in the Dewey Decimal System and he gets fired?
Yeah, he gets set.
That's 604, not 606.
No, he's probably a very good librarian. And the job has like security and it's good pay, but he's bored and he's really frustrated. Even though it gave him a lot of productive time for writing, which is good. But his health had deteriorated quite dramatically. And he found life among peasants to be less than stimulating. Oh, sorry,
Bloody
Your
hell.
Highness.
I can relate.
Can you?
It is nice that you sit with us each week.
Yeah, wow. It's awful in here.
It's kind of. It is a little bit rude that he does turn up in a gold-plated horse and carriage, though, isn't it? And also, like, why a horse and carriage?
Yeah, why?
And how does a gold-plated horse move?
But somehow Warnicky makes it happen.
I replace
Tiny Tush Warnicky makes it happen.
I sit
Tiny
on
Yeah.
Tush is good.
Your
Alliteration.
money can't buy a bloody tiny tush. An actual... Oh, boy.
Get tush implants, why don't you?
Yeah.
You tiny tushed bastard.
I've already had them.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Before that, it was just concave.
Science did this. Science has a long way to go.
Yeah, this is the best we got.
It is. There's something about Dave, or we're like, oh, could we record on any of these multiple times? Like, I've got a job, right? And Jess and I are like,
No, we don't know what that's like.
yes, Dave, we know.
We know. Thanks.
Well, one day you two will be a librarian to the stars.
Hey, we can only hope. We can only hope. And, like, that's the thing. He gets along kind of well with the Count. Like, they're fine. But the Count is younger and quite eccentric. And this is so funny. This is, like, the point they made. Like, the Count often ignored him at meals and failed to introduce him to important visiting guests. This is my librarian.
Oh, Hook-Nose
librarian.
Excuse me, Prime Minister, this is the library.
Yeah, that's so strange. But anyway, Casanova's only friends seem to be his fox terriers.
Oh, bloody hell. What a turn.
Yeah, he's really taken a turn. Like, the other staff don't particularly like him because now he's kind of old and sort of grumpy because he can't hang out with the cool kids anymore. And it's like, well, okay, well, that's kind of your fault. But anyway, this is awful. In despair, Casanova considered suicide, but instead decided that he must live on to record his memoirs, which he did until his death. So he's like, no, my story's more important to tell.
Right. I was wondering how we know so much, and that's because he's memoirs.
Yeah, he writes it all down. So,
was he a trusty writer? Do we believe it all?
Well, but that's the thing. So, at the very start, we mentioned that his memoir is regarded as one of the most authentic sources of customs and norms. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we can trust every single thing he's said in his stories.
I don't think that not every life was like his from that century.
So I
had 30
saved a
careers.
life and
Yeah.
they thought I was a wizard, because I am.
Because I am a wizard. So he he spends basically the rest of his life writing his memoir. He sort of began writing it in about 1789 as the only remedy to keep from going mad or dying of grief. He completed the first draft 3 years later in 1792, and then spent the next 6 years revising it.
By this stage, I reckon he's probably. I imagine he's more machine than man. I mean, about 7 or 8
wheels.
years earlier, he was already on 2 wheels.
Wheel and nose.
Hawk for
Hawk wheel on the
a
nose.
hawk for a
Hawk for a nose.
a nose as well.
Yeah.
Which was, man, he could fly like a little bit off the ground.
Yeah.
Well, his face could.
His face. Good.
His face could hover. Some people just said that was due to his neck, but
No.
I think it was the nose.
Yeah.
It was mostly the nose. I quite like how his memoir opens. It says, "I begin by declaring to my reader that, by everything good or bad that I have done throughout my life, I am sure that I have earned merit or incurred guilt, and that hence I must consider myself a free agent. Despite an excellent moral foundation, the inevitable fruit of the divine principles which were rooted in my heart, I was all my life the victim of my senses." Which I quite like. He's kind of like, yeah, I fucked up. It's fine.
But
then-
he's a free agent. So is he free from it?
I suppose so. And then he says, "You will see that I laugh at them. So, like, my follies are the follies of youth. You will see that I laugh at them. And if you are kind, you will laugh at them with me." So he's like, I fucked up a little bit. I've had quite a life. It's cool. Let's just laugh about it, which is kind of cool. I quite like that. It's
Would be nice to look back and think that, wouldn't it?
So they kind of summarized like what he's done. So he's like, by vocation, he was a lawyer, clergyman, military officer, violinist, con man, pimp, dancer, businessman, diplomat, spy, politician, medic, mathematician, social philosopher, playwright, and writer. He wrote over 20 works.
Librarian.
They didn't mention that. There you go.
Playwright and writer.
There's
I
two.
think you're
They're
starting
different.
All right.
They're different. You're splitting hairs, are we?
You're splitting hairs, yeah.
Also wrote poetry.
Poetry writer.
Wrote
Non-fiction.
non-fiction. Wrote my memoirs. Wrote some short
Young
stories.
adult fiction.
Yep.
Picture books.
Wrote,
He wrote Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
wrote
Philosopher's
several
Stone.
editions of the Babysitter's Club.
Really?
Under a pen name.
And what was that pen name?
R.L. Stein.
Really?
Very surprising. Those ones did not sell well.
Right.
Interesting.
Banned in several countries.
There we go.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
So, just to finish up,
Fun facts.
not really.
Okay.
Kind of. Casanova is a long-established term now in the English language. So, according to Webster's dictionary, the noun Casanova means lover, especially a man who is promiscuous and unscrupulous lover. The first usage of the term in written English was around 1852. And obviously there's been lots of books, films, theatre and music that have referenced a Casanova. But now we know the man behind the name. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
I
just
felt like
cooking.
you, like as you said that, you'd be closing
A book?
and you were obviously you were closing your big leather-bound book.
He was no longer Casanova. He was Little Women.
That's the wrong
Oh,
one.
wow. What an amazing life.
It's quite a life, isn't it?
Is there a Heath Ledger film where he plays Casanova?
It was
You're thinking of Ned
yes.
Kelly.
Yeah, you're thinking of Ned Kelly.
You're thinking of 10 Things I Hate About You.
Great film. Great film.
You're thinking of
Two Hands.
Batman Regrets.
What?
No.
That'd be a great
I'd
film.
love to see the sequel.
Batman Regrets.
lists his regrets.
And it's just,
Putting on this voice, I've lost it a lot of times.
Yeah, I was thinking Batman Returns, which also wasn't him. It was Batman, The Dark Knight,
That's right, Batman and Robin.
Rises.
Batman and Robin.
No, just okay, good. Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
yeah. So that was my report on Casanova. We got there in the end. Well done, everybody.
That was an amazing life.
Yeah, quite a life. We've got a lot to learn, you know. We're in our mid-20s. Matt's 112.
No.
So, I mean, we've still got our lives ahead of us
No,
to try and
Matt's
do
just
something.
going through that record. That's all he cares
Yeah.
about. Is to live longer than any human has ever lived. That's what you live for, isn't it?
Go get him, Matty.
Yeah, look, I was alive in the time of Casanova. We hung out. And
What's he like? You should have mentioned that at the start, so I could have like.
Well, I mean, wasn't I
could've
telling
chimed
about
in.
his wheel feet and his hook nose?
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
You
right.
did mention that.
You talk about what he glossed over in his
I used to-
autobiography.
Yeah, he didn't talk about that
I
much.
used to play this game with his face.
Yeah.
I'd throw little loops, little loopy
Hoops.
hoops, little loopy loops.
You'd play quoits
We
on
used to
his
call
face.
them loopy loops. Oh yeah, they call it quoits now. We
Yeah.
used to call it Casanova face game.
Sure.
But
Not as catchy.
Yeah, I
I
can see why
mean,
they remarket
they,
it.
they did remarket when Milton Bradley bought the rights
Sure.
off another one of our good friends, Abraham Lincoln,
Okay.
the first olden
Fuck.
days name that came to mind. All right,
Sure.
great. Let's wrap this up.
Let's.
Well, thanks for listening, guys, and thank you for the report, Jess.
Thank you.
It was Batman Dark Knight as well. I
Okay.
know we got some. There's
Fuck.
Batman fans who listen. They will be pissed off. You know, we're just fucking about. We know what Batman is.
We live for Batman.
Jim Carrey is my favourite Riddler. I think that'll put their minds.
Yeah,
at
that'll
ease.
be all right.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, we have a new social media too, don't we?
Oh my goodness, guys. It is all happening here at the Do Go On headquarters. We have launched an Instagram account. We have
What?
joined the 21st century.
Yeah. We've
In-
got
in some ways.
Instas, babes.
We're on what's it's at Do Go On Pod, like everything else that you
Yes,
can
I
find
think
us.
It is. That's right.
Yeah, we're throwing up some photos from behind the scenes,
We're going
and
to throw up some photos.
I've
I've eaten the photos.
I'm going to take a selfie right now, and then I'm
Yes.
going to gram it.
Yeah, gram it.
what about you take a photo of my delicious tush?
I don't want to take
No,
a photo
thank
of your
you.
tush. I don't think our fans want to.
No one
Fans? Wow, that was up
You.
myself. I don't think our listeners want to see your tush.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
Tweet in if we have popular demand. I will show you my tush.
No, that
I will
is.
show you my tush.
I will
You did-
go out
you
on a
did-
limb here and guarantee no one's asking.
Oh, that's it. I'm going to do a Twitter poll.
You
I'm
did-
going to do
yeah,
a
I was
Twitter
gonna
poll.
say
Would
Twitter
you
poll.
like to see my tush?
Well,
No
you did put
one's-
up. You did put up a photo of you in your underwear editing the podcast in Greece.
Oh,
Oh,
So-
that's right. If you zoom in.
Have a look at Dave's tush in Bond's undies.
Yeah,
But,
but one of those. What do you call magnifying glass?
But to keep up with all that stuff, you can follow us on Twitter at DoGoOnPod, the Gram, like I said, Facebook. People have been messaging us on there. If you want to request a topic like Lewis did
Yeah.
to request this one, email us. This is an option, dogoonpod@gmail.com, or on Twitter. Or you can comment on Instagram now if you like. Any way to get something in the hat. And I will be back with myself doing a report next week.
Ooh. Did Lewis also suggest yours?
No, he did not, but I'm sure
Disappointing.
Lewis would love this topic.
Is it out of the hat?
It is out of the hat.
Have you already written your report?
I have. Well, I've started writing it. I've done the research because I do.
Man, he is ahead of the game.
I do several months.
Imagine doing it a week ahead.
Yeah.
What a freak.
Imagine. Imagine.
We've got to pull up our socks.
Well, Jess, you know what it is?
What is it, Matt?
Because you and I, a lot of our day is spent having a butt.
Sure.
And so Dave
Sure.
saves a lot of time.
How long does it take you to put on jeans? Because it takes most of my day.
Yeah, it's hours.
Just to
Getting
get
around
them
that-
over my butt.
Over my butt. I reckon Dave saves 3 or 4 hours a day.
Putting on pants.
Yeah.
3 or 4 hours. I mean, that's how I can afford to be the only one on the podcast with a job and still do the most research. It's amazing.
How does he do it?
It's the butt. It's the butt.
God.
It's the lack of
I
butt.
feel like we've
You know the Sarah
Jess
Jessica-
and I have a job, just not one that we can have to always be at all the time like you freak.
Well, I'm a slave to the job and you're a slave to the bean, you fucking coffee drinkers.
Okay, mate. All right.
Oh, yeah, the coffee bean. Yeah, sure.
We've got to go.
Let's
this
go.
This has been
way too long.
I would not be surprised if this is nearly our longest episode ever. So thanks for hanging with us if you have. Until next week, I will say goodbye.
Bye.
Laters.
See you later, girl.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, no, my milk's grown over.